Oh.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Feels like I don't even need to make a speech anymore. No, thank you. Actually, wow, it's really light here. Wasn't it an incredible day? All the great creative ideas, how to apply AI to business use cases, and all the creativity that we saw on stage today. And I thought about, what does it mean if we turn that a little bit around and think about what would and will and is AI already doing for creativity in the way we do it? And that is my story today. I will come up with 5 statements that I believe are changing the way we do business and will impact the way we communicate, we create, and we are creative in how that will impact our digital communication. Actually, I have a few slides to skip here. 5 waves of change, the new paradigm of creativity and digital experiences. So obviously, AI seems to change everything, and the answer always seems to be AI. But what does it mean for the creative community? And especially as we at Adobe are dealing with those creative people out there, creative professionals that are using our technology in their day-to-day life and in day-to-day work, we need to really think carefully about what does it mean for them to have AI and generative AI as part of the process. So how does it change the way they work, and how does it change the way they are creative? And we believe that, first of all, creativity is the new productivity. What does it mean? Think about the way you build your careers, and a lot of you, based on being very diligent, working hard, doing things in a very effective manner. And a lot of people out there in different roles, they're all used to get promoted and to develop their career on working hard. How does that change when computing power is taking over? How does that influence the way we do these things and the way we build our careers? So obviously, people think like creativity is fun that you can sell as work. Nice. I don't believe that is true for all of us, and we are not all Andy Warhol. And then there's the other view on that, that is creativity is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. So in German, yeah, Inspiration, Transpiration, that balance between creativity and the way you bring that to life is changing. When productivity is taken over by computing power, creativity is making us stand out. But what is changing is now that we all can be creative, that we all can get into a creative flow of creating things, thinking new things, having new ideas. So from work to flow is what we all want to be in the way we do business. And in the past, that was for creative professionals. Today, we believe this will be rolled out to a lot of more people in the business. They all will be able to do creative exploration, do creative things, and create results in a very professional and creative manner. And AI is supporting that. AI is supporting them to stay in line with the brand outline and with the brand concept and CI and CD, but also give them the ability to create things that they wouldn't even think about creating before, because it was limited to professionals, to creative professionals. The same is true for knowledge workers. Maybe not creating imagery or videos, but knowledge workers working with massive amount of text and content. In the past, this information that we have unstructured here on the slide, it's stating as structured, but in the most cases it's unstructured because it is built into long text contracts, white papers, and so on. And in the future, with AI, we are able to use technology to support us in consuming content and then redoing things with that content, maybe creating an abstract, maybe putting parts of that onto a PowerPoint, maybe getting very fast through a document by asking specific questions, and maybe leverage the answers that we get in a way that enables us to create content, but also to do our job in a more effective way and be more successful with that. So at the end, if we use AI the right way, instead of building our career based on diligence and working hard and productivity, creativity will be very pivotal to driving things in our careers, because that will make the difference. Second is creative confidence. Not sure how is it with you. I saw with my own kids, their creative confidence was massive when they were between 5 and 7 years old. Whatever they created, it was very nice. We all liked it. We put it to our fridge and we said, this is great art. But that gets lost over time. And we tend to hand over creative work to creative professionals. There's a group of people that we think are doing these creative things. But we believe this has to change, and it will change over time, because with our new creative confidence, we all can do more. We can proliferate the chain of creating content from the professionals and the agencies to the marketeers, the salespeople, the people in the front desk, and to help them to create professional content that is agile, that is fast-paced, that is adapted to specific cases, to specific situations, in order to have more content, more to share, and more creativity throughout the whole organization. Everyone can discover content to use, edit, and share. Everyone feels creative, and at the end, it is not constrained by segments like I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer, I'm an artist, I'm doing designs. It is now available to everybody. So in the past, where we needed to find somebody with skills to enable us to tell our story, we can tell our own story. Where we were constrained with segments, we can now cross segments, and we are only constrained with our imagination. And the creative tools that were and used to be exclusive to creative professionals and hard to use, and I know that myself, because on my first day at Adobe, 2004, the HR leader said, Hartmut, great to have you here. We expect you to be able to use all of Adobe's tools. And I thought like, oh shit, I will not even survive the probation period. Now, still 20 years later, I don't know all the tools because we are constantly adding some. And it's hard to use because these are tools for creative pros and I'm not. I'm a knowledge worker. But they are not exclusive anymore. They are democratized, and I can use a lot of tools like Adobe Express in my own work when I share content on social or when I prepare something for my next PowerPoint. The opportunity for creative exploration is expanding. And you all saw maybe a lot of videos around the usage of generative AI. And look at this simple video here. Maybe the markup here from the tires on the street. I could remove that when I take half an hour or 2 hours and add those yellow lines myself in Photoshop 15 years ago. But today, I can do it in seconds. And that has changed the way I do my work. Selecting that deer here and putting it into a wet alley, not sure if that's a realistic use case, is something that we now can do in seconds, what would have maybe taken hours. And that red arrow here, maybe just to try if it looks good or not, is something that would have taken me hours to put there, and now you saw how fast that is. The same with the northern lights that we will see in a minute here, all those things. What is changing here is not that this is imagery that you will finish and then use for productive use. It's more like the phase of exploration, the phase of having ideas and testing out if those ideas are viable and if those ideas will help. When we think about that from a brand perspective, maybe you are starting a campaign around these bags here. You can start to really deal with something. You can start to create designs that you then train a model on, and then you start to build more content and proliferate content on more channels simply by applying AI to do the things that AI can do very well, whereas the imagery of the bag is something that is your brand, that is your ownership, that you need and will add to that creative usage here. And it also extends to videography. So think about a video that you created, and you in the cutting room, you think about maybe I could add a view on a skyline. And you saw that we opened even an external model. It's not Adobe exclusive, and we can pick that skyline view and can add it to this video. And if you want to add driving through the streets of that city, we can add that as well. All of that based on AI. So we have more opportunity to explore, where in the past we were limited with time to discover and then had a lot of hard work to do into making it happen. Now AI is enabling us to do that very fast and to get faster to results that will change. So that adds a change to the way we act in the creative space. So in the past, where creativity was very much limited to those creative professionals, graphic designers, product designers, 3D artists, image compositors, video editors, and so on. And if we are able to expand that to practitioners like social media teams, salespeople, knowledge workers, maybe marketing, then obviously more people are working in the creative space. They're creating more content with more relevance. And if we can do this more effectively, we even have more time for those people, and we can add more. When you think about what that means, I said that earlier, 10% inspiration, 90% transpiration. When you think about that, inspiration was very small in the past, and then we had a lot of hard work to do in order to get it properly through the creation process and production process, and then to publish it maybe in different versions through Photoshop, and then you have portrait, landscape, thumbnails, square, and so on. All these kind of things that needed to be created, you can automate a lot of that. So in the past, it was more looking like that. There was a curation process, a creation process, and then the precision and the ability to publish it. And that changes to much more time in the creativity box, much more time on being truly creative, on having really, truly good ideas, testing ideas, sharing ideas with others. Think about when you build a house, you talk to an architect. In the past, he would maybe come up with 3 ideas. In the future, he will be able to sketch 20 ideas or 50 ideas simply because he can automate a lot of that process based on prompts or based on AI that supports that. You'll have more possibilities, more participants in the creative process, and at the end, you have far more engaging and personalized digital experiences. And this enables a next big thing. I recently had a meeting with a CMO in the B2B business, and he said, hey, I definitely would like to do more personalization on my webpage to be more relevant to my clients. The only issue is I don't have enough content. And this will change. If we talk about that, the future of digital experience will be personalized. We will have much more opportunities if we have Gen AI to support that personalization. We want to be known. We want to be recognized. We want to get a personal message. And this is not a new idea. It's very old. The right message to the right customer at the moment in the customer journey on the device of choice, all these kind of messages are as old as the marketing industry in digital. But how often do we really get that? How often are messages not relevant, not suited to where we stand in our journey, not suited to the moment where we are in? Brands will be able to deliver highly personalized experiences made for each of us. This is Carvana. Not sure if you have heard about Carvana. Maybe hands up, so make it a little bit interactive. Nobody heard about Carvana. Yeah, there's somebody, great. It's a car reseller in the United States, and they are selling literally millions of cars. They are really big there. And what they started to do is they created, with AI, videos of the actual car somebody buys in the full configuration, the right color, the right rims, the right all of that. And they created those videos in an environment where the person lives. And send those videos as a personal message to that person. Here's the car you're looking forward to. Here's how it will look like. It was an amazing success. But we are talking about hundreds of thousands of videos that were created. Think about doing that with creative professionals. These creative professionals will really hate you for that. Maybe they need the job and they will only do it for the money. Do it with AI, you simply can do things like that. And it will totally change the way people perceive the way you as a brand are dealing with them and how you engage with that brand. So from generalized experiences, you will have real personalized experiences. Instead of searching, you will get much more suggestions when you are in the internet, when you're online. Instead of learning an app, maybe the app will help you to learn faster. And instead of only being data-driven, at the end, it will be AI-driven, the way we communicate and the way we get through to it. I promised that I talk about the meaning of creative professionals and the meaning of the creative people out there. And that's a big topic, because those creative professionals, they are professionals, obviously. They live with what they're doing. They are not amateurs. They're not doing it for love. They're doing it for money. And the thing is very interesting when we think about story, craft, and meaning. Think about when you're buying a piece of artwork. Are you calculating the price of the canvas, the price for the colors and the brush? No, you won't. The reason why we buy fine art is a story. The craft makes us appreciate the work, and story and process makes it what makes it special and valuable. So it's not about the ability to put it on paper, it's about the idea that stands behind it. And that is where I see the distinction between what is the artist, what is a creative person, and what is AI doing for that creative person in automating the way to bring it to the canvas, to bring it to the video, to bring it to the digital imagery, to bring it to life. So the reason is the story. And this is a storyteller. It's a guy called Casey Neistat. He is a very famous videographer. He has a lot of videos online, and he has followers, tens of thousands of followers online. And he started to think about, what if I create a video fully based on ChatGPT? So he asked ChatGPT to write a storyline for a video, and then he shot the video exactly as described by ChatGPT in real life in New York. And he uploaded the video, and the reactions were super bad. He himself said it was the worst video ever because it had no soul. There was no idea behind it. It was only perfectly in the way it was put together, but the idea behind it was missing. And that is where we think about the idea, the craft, and then the result. That's part of it. So one is creative professionals still will do creative stuff, even more creative stuff than ever before, because they have more opportunity to explore, more opportunity to test out things, and they will be asked to create much more because we need all that relevant and personalized content. The other side of that is when we look into the editorial and journalistic content that gets published. Content authenticity. So the question how we deal with content is changing as well, and we talked about, and we heard a lot about today, on regulations and the way we can deal with content. We at Adobe looked into that as well and thought about what can we do in order to make sure that genuine content, authentic content can be identified. And we thought about labeling content with a content label, so content credentials. And the idea is that we, as a foundation, founded the Content Authenticity Initiative. We today have more than 3,500 members in that initiative. That's not people, that are companies. And the company members of that initiative are the likes of the German public television, the DPA, Associated Press, you see that, New York Times, Microsoft, but also social media platforms like LinkedIn or TikTok or others are part of our initiative. And the idea is that we are going to have content that is labeled for its authenticity. So we are not only saying this content has a trusted source, but we also make it transparent what alterations did the content go through when it was created, from the maybe photo taken to the photo published. Think about, you take a photo from a politician or people of public interest. You could already change content, by the way, before AI, but with AI it's even easier. And then you can maybe replace things, you can put other people into the context or change things in a way that really will have an impact. The idea of content authenticity is that you can look into that, get full transparency in what got changed from the moment of taking the image to the moment the image got published. One of our partners is Leica, the camera manufacturer in Wetzlar, very German as you can be, I would think. And Leica put a chip in their latest version of the M11, and this chip already puts the content credentials to the image and helps us through the production process to keep these consistency on content credentials from taking the picture to the content that finally gets published. Super powerful, and the next step will be that we see more and more of that in the front ends of these publishers, in the front end of these outlets, in the front end of the social media channels, with the idea to make sure that we have an understanding on authenticity as well. It's a bit out of topic, but an important topic that I want to bring up here, and a standard that we will see more and more in the market. So, the flooding the zone content. is not good enough. And we see already that social media as well as Google are de-ranking content that is only generated, and they are looking for authenticity in content, for relevant content as well, and they rank that higher. So a high bar for experiences. Scale and efficiency is one part of it, but also meaning and scarcity. And at the end, it's not only the engagement by content, but the engagement by meaning. Creativity that is effective is creativity that moves us. That is what we believe, and we need all the creatives out there, creative professionals, but also a lot of you will be much more creative in your day-to-day work, in the way you leverage content, you create content, and you contribute to the content production. With that, I say a big thank you for a great day. Thank you for all of you. Feels like I'm more or less the last between you and the drinks. So therefore, thanks for staying in the room.